I can't believe that. Oh my God. All right. Today we're going to be reacting to the internet's most viral landscaping TikToks. Some of these have over 1 million views. Let's see if they deserve the hype they get.
Hey, yo, Victor, the client wants to speak to the manager.
Why me?
Because you're the manager.
Yeah, but you're the owner.
Yeah, but you're the manager.
Oh my God. Okay. Well, yeah. So number one, you should never shy away from speaking to the client, no matter how bad they are or may be. Obviously, I know it's a skit, but I think it's funny. I think it's funny. This is nicely done. It's something that we can relate to. I'm sure in all of our industries and construction and obviously landscape or whatever it is, I'm sure that we can all relate. But tastefully done. Bravo. That actually made me laugh a little bit. So yeah, that's funny. What's even funnier is the way he's kind of looking down. He's like, yeah, but what? I like that. That's funny.
Hi guys, this is Minette with Vic's Landscape, and I'm gonna show you guys a little bit of a project that we have going on here in Sun.
Okay, I'm gonna. What in the world? I already know why this is on this list here.
City West, follow me. So what we're doing here is we're just laying some mortar sand as prep work for the travertine that's gonna go on top of this existing concrete pad. Follow me. ¿Qué onda, mi Felipe? ¿Qué andamos haciendo? A ver, una explicación.
Felipe looks like he's fighting for his life here. Felipe looks like he's fighting for his life here. He's like,
So here we have the material that we will be installing for this project, and it's a 3-piece walnut.
So the travertine actually looks pretty nice.
Right over.
All right, so yeah, I don't know what's genuinely funnier. If well, the video is not meant to be funny. I mean, Felipe is kind of funny, but I don't know what's funnier, the video or like the comments. I mean, look at these comments. The only thing I want to build is a feature with Minette. What is that comment? All I need is one Minette. I mean, what? Why is my boy Felipe struggling to get any work done? Felipe, get back to work. Get back to work, Felipe. But yeah, no, in all seriousness, well done on the travertine. They were putting travertine base down, the like rock base and then the sand. And yeah, that's how you do it. It's travertine. I think I went over this on my last video. Marble, travertine, porcelain, all that. If you're gonna put it down, gotta put a base, make sure it's stable. Don't put it on top of like existing grass or something. You remove that puppy and start fresh. Do it right. If you're gonna do it right, because it'll come back to bite you in the butt later. Wait, I know these guys. These are the what do they call it? Applewood guys. That's my boy Puma. I've seen him. Yeah, I've seen him all over the internet. Yeah. How do they get you guys to like do this kind of stuff? I can't imagine having our guys. Our guys are like, they're very kind, very serious. So like they're serious about their work. How do you even find the time for this? How do you even like come to your guys and say, guys, I have a video idea here. Now bear with me. It requires you to dance around a little bit. Hit them with one of these.
Brother, what's that, brother?
I don't know. I can't imagine our guys in this. I like watching these videos. I've seen a bunch of them. They're funny.
We're about to turn this blank canvas into a beautiful landscaping bed.
Transformations.
These clients have lived
so
here
much.
many years
Time
and are
lapses.
tired of looking at grass
So nice.
every day. The first step is to measure out the bed and get rid of all grass and roots. Then we come in with a thick metal edging and place this on the outskirts of the landscaping bed. The ground layer had a lot of roots exposed from a nearby tree, so we brought in some topsoil to level everything out. This client requested heavy-duty landscaping fabric with staples, so we got this installed. We also redirected the gutters to a pop-up emitter to keep the water from washing out the mulch. Now it's time to put these plants in their forever
Especially like that one.
This bed got globe arborvitaes, hydrangeas, hostas, azaleas, bluegrasses, nandinas, and a crepe myrtle shrub. There's a large tree in the
nice.
front yard that casts a lot of shade on the front of the bed, which allows us to put
tastefully
in
done.
different varieties of plants. The final step is to use our Toro Multiforce to get some beautiful brown mulch installed.
Okay.
Here's the final results. Tell me what you think in the comments. Be sure to follow along to see what happens next. Peace.
All right. I like it. I like it. So it's a very different design and style than what we would implement here in South Florida. But obviously the plants that we have, and you can tell this is probably somewhere up north, it looks pretty cold just from the video. They wouldn't work up there, and his plants probably wouldn't work down here. Tastefully done. One of my questions is, why not get like a sod cutter? You know, say like you can rent them at like Home Depot or whatever it may be. You can rent them, and that'll save your back from having to shovel out all that sod near the house. You could just get the sod cutter, and it just cuts it right up and turns it into these strips that you could then cut up and load in a truck. Other than that though, well done. I love the use of the landscape fabric. God knows what he's doing. I like it, and especially I'm a huge fan of the brown or chocolate mulch. You know, that dark brown, not so much the black, because the black is very like stark, but at least the brown looks more of like a clean dirt when recently applied. So I am a fan of it, and I think it's really nicely done. Very simple, but not everything has to be over the top. Overall, I love these transformations, especially the time-lapse ones. Very well done. I like it. Another transformation. I love transformations. I already told you guys, I love transformations. That looks really nice. Okay, I gotta watch that one more time. Before looks just there. And then the after. Well done. Well done. So this actually looks like, have you gone to like your backyard or your front yard or wherever it may be, somewhere on the property, snapped a picture and then said, ChatGPT, I need you to create a landscape for me, and then maybe given it some details or whatever. I feel like this is what it would create, which again, ChatGPT can create some really nice designs, but I feel like this is somewhere along the lines of like what it would create. That artificial turf with the slabs. This is like the cast concrete slabs. Beautiful sitting area with those lights that kind of wrap around it. This looks really nice. Really, really nice. Very simple. Again, simple sometimes is better. Less is more. Again, it depends what you're going for. Some people like simple. Some people prefer more of that, you know, full of, I don't know. It's whatever. You know, you're allowed to like what you like. So, nice. Is he having them work out in the morning? I thought that morning warm-ups was like in reference to like, you know, like the morning meetings, like what I have with my maintenance guys. We have like the morning meetings, but this is awesome. Again, I can't imagine telling my guys like, yeah, let's get into line here and let's do jumping jacks. They're all gonna look at me sideways like, what the heck are you talking about? Yeah, this is interesting to say the least. I think it's a good team building thing though. You know, like sometimes like in a corporate setting, you have team building activities. I think having this closeness with your employees is extremely important. You know, as long as they're willing and able and it's all inclusive. I think it's a very good team building exercise to make everyone feel included and to kind of get their morning going. It sets a tone for the rest of the day. If you own something, if you own a company, making your people that help make what you do possible, that are essential, integral pieces of the puzzle, making them feel special is imperative, at least to me. Don't do that. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. That's dangerous. Don't do this. So I know it's a skit, but I gotta talk about this because we do a variety of work in our company, and one of the things that we offer is weekly maintenance. And I know what it's like to have certain expectations and have certain timelines. This is extremely dangerous, especially when handling heavy machinery like this. To run around with a hedge trimmer or a weed whacker, again, I understand it is a skit, and I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer here. But it's dangerous. You don't want to be running around like this with heavy machinery. That's how accidents happen. When I first started my company, obviously I didn't have all the employees. I was trying to rush. I was young, just trying to rush. I was using a like one of those hedge trimmer power pruners. I was trimming a hedge, and I went to go stick my hand in to get the pieces that I felt were falling over, and I had a bit of recoil, and it ended up getting my hand, and I had to get stitches, all across my hand here and stuff. So take time to do your work and do it with a sense of love. Don't do it like this. And if you're an owner, don't rush your employees, because you're never gonna get a good job.
I got a $15,000 landscaping quote, so I did it myself for $2,000. When you're budgeted.
Okay, so I know $15,000 sounds like a lot of money, and it is. In our industry though, $15,000 is not an astronomical number to ask or to put a price tag on a landscape. Now, I'm not exactly sure what was quoted here, so I can't speak on that. Maybe she speaks about it in the video or she shows it. I will see in a second. But I've said it in previous videos, sometimes clients get that sticker shock when they hear it until they do additional research, and then they find out that that's the price of things. As I've said, material is expensive. Our labor is extremely expensive because we have to pay a livable wage. But depending upon what exactly she asked for here, 15K is not completely unreasonable. Some of our landscapes start at right around that $15,000 mark. Depending on the size and the scope of work, they can go upwards of $60,000, $70,000, well into the $100,000. But again, it's all dependent upon what the client is looking for, what materials they want to use. Obviously, there's more premium materials, so on and so forth. I'm glad to see, at least if she can't afford it or did not want to pay for it, I'm glad to see that she could do it herself, and sometimes it's just fine. The labor, like I said, is very expensive, and sometimes that eats a lot of the in her case, the $15,000 cost. So let's see what she ended up doing.
Doesn't match up to the quote. You realize that you are the labor.
Yeah,
I have very little experience, but a stubborn mindset and a lot of faith.
that's pretty cool.
in it, too.
With the hose,
So
she kind of
first
planned it
step
out.
Was grass and privacy and moving some plants around. I found a deal on 5-foot arborvitae trees, so obviously I bought 20.
Okay.
And then came the digging, and more digging, and hauling dirt. I basically became best friends with the team at Site 1. They kept me going and gave me lots of great advice on the rocks. My rocks finally arrived, we laid the fabric, and then I realized I didn't dig deep enough. So I started over. Added this hex grid
Yeah, that
system
sucks.
so the gravel wouldn't
When you're doing work and then you have to go back and
But then
redo
my
your
dream
work,
of
it
a
just
curved
sucks.
path and my very straight stones that I bought didn't get along. So 5 hours of playing Tetris later, we made it work. No cuts. 2 weeks, lots of early mornings, late nights.
That's the thing.
Now we have a place to gather. So I finally understand why it costs $15,000. But also, if I can do it,
That's
can too.
very, very mature of her again. So I could see paver work, hardscape work is very labor intensive. It requires a particular set of skills. It's not easy. Very mature of her to, at the very end, say, I can understand now why it was $15,000. Again, this seems to me like $15,000 was justifiable. 100% justifiable. It takes sometimes you doing it yourself to understand why you're quoted that much. Sometimes you're like, oh, it's just a little pathway. It's a 20, 30 foot pathway. Why is it $5,000, $6,000? It's the labor that goes into it. And it's also the skill. We can't negate the skill that it takes. So I'm glad that she was able to get it done for her price that she wanted to pay it. She felt comfortable, but she did learn a lesson, and it's, it costs money to do these things, especially if you want it done right.
Here we go again.
What is this? Okay, this is extremely dangerous. Why? What was the point? What was the point of this video? Somebody had the forethought to say, let's film this and let's upload it. You have to go through several steps here in order to upload this to the internet. So this is dangerous. Don't do this. Don't do this. Don't have your crew members on your mini skid. Legs or no legs.
What?
Don't do this. Why would you even Why would you even do? What was the point of this? What is he even trying to achieve? Is he? I gotta watch this again. He didn't even do anything. I mean, props for them for hiring and being like all inclusive and hiring somebody that has a disability. I'll give you a thumbs up for that. But other than that, don't do this. Okay, I don't know. Anyways. So it looks like 10,000 is what they landed on to clean all that up. I want to see the end result. Where the heck is the end result? No, don't do that. What the? How are you gonna post a video like that and not show the end result? So you negotiated a price, landed on $10,000 to clean that up, and then you clickbaited us? Come here, come here. Hey, don't do that. Don't clickbait us. Show us the end result. We want to see the end result. I want to see the end result. Don't leave me hanging like that. I can't believe that. Oh my God. All right. Anyways, that was this week's video. I hope you guys enjoyed these TikTok reads. If you guys like this, leave it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and leave your comments down below on what I should do next. If you have a funny TikTok you think I should review, send it down in the comments. Feel free to message me. Again, thank you guys for watching this week's video, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.